the Bildungsroman. It's not what you often hear, and maybe it's your first time hearing it now, but you've definitely felt it somewhere. It's an emotional coming-of-age story, where kids grow up in unique environmental circumstances and mature into the rooted themes of their experiences. You know, your To Kill a Mockingbirds, your Little Women. Heck, you could technically count Naruto as one. My favorite anime of all time is also Bildungsroman. I bring this up because Beck, Mongolian Chop Squad, is also one of those stories you can easily find yourself emotionally invested in. While it is primarily a music show, it's all about the music, man. It's until that engages both the characters and the audience into what it means to embrace art and how it shapes you through those formative years. But for as deep as it tries, how is it as an actual centerpiece? The message can only get so far without a good presentation, after all. Koyuki's a bored middle school kid, unsure of where he's going in life. When he crosses paths with a teen 2 years his senior, he's told to check him out at a concert sometime. When he does, a whole new world is open to him, where the soulful rock tones seem to reignite Koyuki's want for passion, even if a bit unstable. Awkwardly blown away by the sounds, Koyuki begins to learn guitar with the aim to join his new compatriot, Ryusuke, on stage. But with hard work comes many tribulations and testing of friendships, so can Koyuki mend his relationships alongside his newfound but weakened aspirations? How it plays out is an interesting melody. The essence of the Bildungsroman is how well you write the primary points of view. In Beck, it's done moderately well. Koyuki as a character is that of a young troubled teen working to find something in himself to fill some void of emptiness. Over the course of the show, he finds that what he wants is hard to get, and his own arc of being this kid hungry for the first time in his life isn't necessarily anything new, but it is built on fundamental ideas of his type of character. He is greedy, he is out of his element a good chunk of the time. He works hard to improve his guitar skills, and sometimes he just doesn't win despite all of that. It's a humbling look not into the life of an upcoming musician, but that of a kid who's used to not getting everything but is stubborn enough to go for it anyway. It's not perfect, but it's human. The other POV, with Ryusuke, is just as developed. He's also selfish, he wants more from himself and his bandmates. He cares too much about his music to care about just about anything else, to a point where he loses sight of important things like social connection and not being a dick. As a story, it turns the lens of a hard-working band towards more of the direction of a group of musicians hanging on by band-aids and a thirst-filled youth. And for as common as these types of plots go, it isn't done half-assedly, primarily due to those arcs with the characters. They aren't unique, but they're done in a genuine foundation that builds on development of age rather than experience. And as usual, it's my personal preference, but I'm just someone who loves anime music, and Beck is no exception. With Beck, it's raw and grungy and ready to make a statement. What that statement is, I don't know, but it's a blast nonetheless. I'm certainly not an expert in the music scene or anything, so I could be wrong on this, but the soundtrack's just a fun time to be had. I'll defer to the comments to let me know how wrong I am or something. I guess my only real big nitpick is that the comedy's kind of bad. I'm not saying that because I want a more dramatic story or anything, I say that because the comedy is bad, in comparison to the rest of the feel of the story. There's a ton of awkwardly timed jokes here and there that sort of fall flat if you don't get it, and the running gags, primarily which involves the dog Beck, got stale pretty quickly. Beck is a tricky show in that much of it is average, but it does its averageness well. The atmosphere isn't subtle, but it broods in the sharp listlessness. The characters aren't written great, but they follow along a great pacing and development. The animation's not the cleanest, but the music more than makes up for it with powerful beats to the soul scene and the themes. So, in a way, I do recommend it. There is something of substance to be taken from it. While I don't think it sits atop the musical anime world, by God does it try its damnedest to be the best it can be. Seek it out for yourself sometime and tune into the jam session of a burgeoning lifetime.